General, did he or did he not claim privilege with respect to the transcripts of the audio recording in question when we were talking about Special Counsel Hur looking into the allegations of the abuse of classified materials by the President of the United States before he was president? And I asked him, and he said, no, we did not claim executive privilege with respect to the transcripts. In a separate exchange involving the best evidence rule, the Attorney General was engaging with another colleague, a friend on the Judiciary Committee, about the best evidence rule, and in doing so, articulated and explained how the transcript was admissible under the best evidence rule, which is correct. But in doing so, he kind of gave up the game, in which he described and said, they're the same. He said to the committee, he said, they're the same. Now, he just told me that they did not claim executive privilege with respect to the transcript. Then he said to all of us, they're the same. The audio recording and the transcript are the same. And then he proceeds to say that he must, in defending the rule of law, claim executive privilege on the actual audio, and then deny the members of Congress the ability, in the middle of an impeachment inquiry, duly constituted, voted on by this body on the House floor, an impeachment inquiry, to then deny us the ability to listen to the audio. The fact of the matter is, there's only one reason why the Attorney General would do that. He doesn't want us to hear it. That's why. And there's really only two reasons why that would be the case. Either the transcript doesn't match the audio, or the audio is so bad that he doesn't want us to hear it.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a great and wonderful day. Well, we're going to be talking about the actual situation with Merrick Garland here being actually held in contempt to possibly be going to jail. Again, I'm happy, but I'm also not really getting my hopes up or too excited for it, because what we're dealing with is the Republicans. This is who we're dealing with. And since we're dealing with Republicans, they don't seem to have the, what you would say, big dick energy to go after their opponents like the Democrats will. The Democrats will go after Steve Bannon. They'll go after any person that thinks the opposite of them, aka Trump supporters or just normal people living their lives. They will go after and prosecute heinous or terrible things on Donald Trump, because that's how the Democrats operate. Whereas the Republicans, they kind of just sit there. They kind of just don't do anything, and they're really pretty much useless. So maybe this time around, they might actually get off their asses and probably do something. Sorry for the actual language here, but it's really annoying when I have Republicans just not be able to function the way they should. And we need to have something like this happen, and it's just not doing so. So we're going to go over a little bit of this and all that great stuff. So without further ado, my friends, here we have it all. Now, granted, this is from AP News, but I will be getting to some other stuff as well. Which says House votes to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt for withholding Biden audio. And we all know that Biden is the person that couldn't be prosecuted, couldn't be charged because he was too old. The jury may find him actually guilty of something, so we can't charge him or do whatever. So that's great. So we all know that the government is working as it should, where you're not going to be able to prosecute Biden for anything, but let's prosecute Trump, because that's the way to do things, I guess, in this country. At least in a banana republic, anyways. So we have this. The House voted Wednesday to hold Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress for refusing to turn over audio of President Joe Biden's interview in his classified documents case. Republicans' latest and strongest rebuke of the Justice Department as partisan conflict over the rule of law animates the 2024 presidential election. The 216 and 207 vote fell along party lines, with the Republicans coalescing behind the contempt effort despite reservations among some of the party's most centrist members. Only one Republican, Representative David Joyce of Ohio, voted against it. Garland said in a statement late Wednesday, "It is deeply disappointing that this House, where representatives has turned a serious congressional authority into a partisan weapon. Today's vote disregards the constitutional separation of powers. The Justice Departments need to protect its investigation and substantial amount of information when we have provided to the committees." So, where about the actual good rule of law, Garland, did you do when you offered a pretty much a lethal force against the Mar-a-Lago, when you know that, and also including being not having to be put in FBI gear, right? You could be dressed as a normal casual civilian, which if they got into a firefight with the Secret Service, that would have been absolutely horrible. But no, Garland, you didn't actually do that. You know, that's not been signed by you. You didn't approve it, even though your signature is right on that paper saying that you can use lethal force at the Mar-a-Lago. And it can't possibly be that that there was a Democrat, all of the Democrats were staging something to be able to arrest Donald Trump. I mean, this is not really a surprise here, or how many things that they tried to do to get Trump convicted of a no-named crime. So it's really weird on how you say it's, you know, how the department's going against you guys when you guys are doing the exact thing that you're doing against us. We're just fighting fire with fire, and this is the reason why I want Republicans to be able to actually do something and not be bloody useless. He said, he added, "I will always stand up for this department, its employees, and its vital mission to defend our democracy. We don't have a democracy. It's just a one-party country right now, honestly. It's where the Republicans don't do anything and get fisted all day, and the Democrats go and destroy everybody's way of life. So that's kind of how our republic is right now, if we were going to call it a democracy." Garland is now the third Attorney General to be held in contempt of Congress, yet it is unlikely that the Justice Department, which Garland oversees, will prosecute him. Yeah, so, this is just a lot to go over. I don't think that the DOJ is going to go and arrest Merrick Garland here. And I don't see it happening. It doesn't seem a remote possible chance. But there is something that the Republicans can do, and we're going to tell you that. But first, what we have here is from the Daily Caller saying, Garland's Washington Post op-ed annotated with the truth. Sorry. Attorney General Merrick Garland attempted Wednesday to shut down criticism of the Biden Department of Justice of the DOJ with an op-ed in the Washington Post, but his flat dismissal of concerns over the DOJ's politicization as conspiracy theories fails to engage with the facts. Garland's response in the Post came the week after the testified during a House Judiciary Committee hearing that he would not be intimidated by attacks on the department, and ahead of a House vote holding him in contempt of Congress for declining to turn over the recording of President Joe Biden's interview with Special Counsel Robert Hur. So, that's what's going on here. So, I want to show you guys the actual clip of, pretty much what this one crazy badass woman is doing to actually put some very strong shells into their pocket and be able to do something against the corrupt Democrats, which apparently the Republicans were able to do this entire time. They were just too garbage to do anything. Take a look.
All right, this vote is continuing in the House right now. It's a House vote to hold the Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland, in contempt of Congress after the Justice Department refused to comply with these subpoenas demanding audio recordings of the president's interview with a special counsel investigating his handle of those classified documents. One notable no vote from Republicans, the only one that I can see right now, that would be Dave Joyce of Ohio. We are waiting here for Nancy Mace, how that went. She'll be joining us shortly. Right now to Aisha Hasni on what's at stake here. Aisha.
Here we go. So, Neil, this has passed now. The final vote is 216 to 207. As you mentioned, Joyce from Ohio is the only Republican no vote. He decided to buck his party. There were at least 6 members early this morning that were still undecided, sort of on the fence, and all but one, all but Joyce, voted with their party. Now what happens next? You were talking with John right before the break about the DOJ probably not likely to go after their own boss right now that this contempt vote has passed. But here's what could happen. There is an alternative road for House Republicans. Congresswoman Ana Paulina Luna of Florida is vowing to force a vote on an inherent contempt. This is different from what we just saw happen on the House floor. Inherent contempt basically means that if it passes, it would direct the House Sergeant at Arms then to go and arrest Merrick Garland. So essentially the House would be doing the job of the Justice Department. We don't know if it's going to happen. She's certainly vowing to at least use a privilege motion to force this. And if she does that, then in the matter of 2 legislative days, the Speaker of the House would have to bring that to the floor for a vote. So if that happens, this drama goes on with AG Garland.
Yeah, so the one person that is able to do it is a woman that has enough brass balls to actually go and do something about this whole situation. And apparently, the Republicans had the power to do this. They could have used the Sergeant of Arms to actually go and arrest people that the DOJ wouldn't go and do. And if they had this power this entire time, why have they not used it against Alvin Bragg, against Hillary Clinton, against Joe Biden, against some FBI members, like all these other people? Why haven't they gone and done this already? It's almost like the Republicans are not doing anything, or they're so dumb or ignorant of the law that they have not actually done anything whatsoever because they don't want to do anything. Or it's like, it's really, really annoying. And this is the reason why I cannot stand Republicans. They refuse to get the job done whenever we need it, and I don't think anything is going to get done here. I don't think that we'll be able to do anything, only because I have my faith in Republicans are just not there. I think we need to fight fire with fire here. I don't care on how it makes us look. I don't care about what the Democrats are going to say. The Democrats are doing this anyways. We're already under attack here. We will not, do you think you Republicans are going to be good and safe? No, because they'll come after you too, and then your careers are going to be over. So I don't see why you would want to go and not go do action, save your careers, and perhaps just go and help the American people. And anybody that does not vote for this and try to actually, make this guy be held into the highest level of a contempt, then, by the way, remove them. Remove them because they don't need to be here. Obviously, they don't care enough for the American people or country, so they don't deserve to be here in our country, or at the very least in the power to be standing for the American people. Because obviously, there's something else there that is what have you. We need to change our Republican Party because we don't need babies, we need men. And what we have here is a bit more on this. Says Garland ignores the differences in the prosecution of Trump and Biden for similar behavior with classified documents. For instance, Trump's case involved an armed raid on Mar-a-Lago, while in Biden's case, his personal lawyer searched his papers. The DOJ has spent over $23 million on the 2 investigations into former President Donald Trump, while spending only around $6.4 million on the probe into Biden's handling of classified documents, according to numbers released in January. The Biden DOJ also opposed efforts to limit his settlement slush fund, which enables it to direct funds towards left-wing nonprofits. Garland forgets to mention that this so-called local case was led by a former top Biden administration official. Matthew Conagello, formerly the third-ranking official in the Biden DOJ, joined the Manhattan District Attorney's Office as senior counsel in December 2022, while Bragg's investigation into Trump was ongoing. While the DOJ said this week that a search revealed no communications between department leadership and Bragg's office, many have questioned why a top official would step down from one of the most high-ranking positions in the legal world to take a role in the office of a local prosecutor. Colangelo previously led the investigation to Trump Foundation and the investigation that became Trump's civil fraud case while working for the New York District Attorney's Office in 2018. He received $12,000 from the Democratic National Committee for Political Consulting, according to Federal Election Commission records. So, yeah, we all know what's going on here, right? There's a double standard here. We have a two-tiered law system, and again, we need the Republicans to actually do something. So maybe, just maybe, the Republicans may do something good, help the American people, fight fire with fire, fix our country, and maybe be able to get someplace where we need to be. Because at this point, we're done. We should be done screwing around, and we should be protecting people and their ability to survive in this country, because obviously we're being prosecuted for the way we think, the way we want to, who we want to support, etc., etc. Now, on top of that, we're also supporting another country that has a hit list on American citizens. So that's another thing. So, alright, guys, that's it for the video. Let's guys share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, 'cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.